Chapter 2382. Heavenly Emperor Heng Yu knew what happened in the Void Divine Island and also sighed endlessly. Senior Heng Yu, this weapon is for you. Lu Ming's hand moved, and a battle sword appeared in his hand. It was precisely one of the 3 heavenly Dao weapons. This is a heavenly Dao weapon. The moment Heavenly Emperor Heng Yu saw this battle sword, his eyes suddenly lit up. Precisely. Lu Ming smiled. Lu Ming, this heavenly Dao weapon is too precious. If you take it out to sell, the price will be immeasurable. I can't accept it. Although Heavenly Emperor Heng Yu was extremely moved, he still shook his head. This was what Lu Ming obtained by risking his life. How could he accept it? Senior Heng Yu, accept it. I had a great harvest this time. I also have a heavenly Dao weapon for my own use. This battle sword, I have no use for it either. Lu Ming said. Indeed, his harvest this time was great. All kinds of resources, there was everything he could desire. There was no need to sell a heavenly Dao weapon at all. He did not lack resources. Throughout his journey, the Heng Yu Celestial the Arch had been of great help to him, especially the Celestial Theater's physical body. He had helped Lu Ming avert danger many times. It was only right to give a heavenly Dao soldier to the Heng Yu Celestial the Arch. Seeing Lu Ming's firm attitude, Heavenly Emperor Heng Yu hesitated for a bit and put it away. Lu Ming, whatever you need, feel free to say. If I can do it, I'll definitely do it for you. Heavenly Emperor Heng Yu said. Senior Heng Yu is too serious. Lu Ming hurriedly said. Heavenly Emperor Heng Yu carefully sized up the battle sword in his hand. The more he looked, the more he liked it. His face revealed a smile. His cultivation was at the 3-star Heavenly Emperor realm. With this heavenly Dao weapon, his combat power would skyrocket. Even if he encountered a 4-star Heavenly Emperor peerless powerhouse, as long as the other party did not have a heavenly Dao weapon, he could contend. In fact, he could even borrow the heavenly Dao contained in the heavenly Dao weapon to let his cultivation take a step further, breaking through the bottleneck, breaking through to 4-star Heavenly Emperor, becoming a peerless powerhouse, a heavenly realm Empyrean level figure. This heavenly Dao weapon was too useful to him. Only after a while did Heavenly Emperor Heng Yu put away the heavenly Dao weapon. Then, he chatted with Lu Ming for a while and left. He needed to refine the heavenly Dao soldier as soon as possible so that he could unleash its power. After Heavenly the Arch Heng Yu left, Lu Ming made another trip to the Primal Chaos Hall and gave the remaining Heaven Dao weapon, the Meteor Hammer, to Tu Yi. Tu Yi was naturally overjoyed when he obtained the heavenly Dao weapon. Actually, the Primal Chaos Palace also had heavenly Dao soldiers left behind. However, there were only 2 of them and they were not suitable for Tu Yi to use. One was in the hands of Gold One and the other was in the hands of Thunder One. The others had long been envious. Now that Earth One got one, he was naturally overjoyed. He was very grateful to Lu Ming. Lu Ming smiled. Tu Yi and the others were completely under his command. The stronger they were, the better it would be for him. After Lu Ming returned to his residence, he entered the mountain and river diagram with a thought. Then, a spear appeared in his hand. This spear was the heavenly Dao weapon. Boom! Boom! Lu Ming erupted with all of his power. The power of his physical body, the power of the world, and the power of laws all erupted. The spear emitted a resplendent radiance as it swept out. The void instantly collapsed and shattered. Endless spatial storms howled. It was simply apocalyptic. Awesome, too awesome. After continuously brandishing it a few times, Lu Ming stopped. With his current cultivation, it was naturally impossible for him to unleash the power of the heavenly Dao soldier. It was also impossible for him to stimulate the power of the heavenly Dao inside. However, the material of the heavenly Dao soldier was sturdy and indestructible. Once it was activated, it was heavier than a mountain. Lu Ming could completely unleash all of his power without any restraint. Previously, Lu Ming condensed the Infinity Dragon Spear with laws and could not fully unleash Lu Ming's power. At the very least, he could not fully unleash the power of his physical body. Once there was a collision that was too strong, the Infinity Dragon Spear would collapse. Therefore, Lu Ming would simply use his fists to fight most of the time. That way, he could unleash his strength more. But now, with this long spear, Lu Ming could unleash all of his power to his heart's content. Moreover, the long spear had more or less increased Lu Ming's combat strength by a few notches. On the handle of the long spear, there were 3 words: Great Spear of Desolation. Great Spear of Desolation, accompany me in conquering the world. Lu Ming revealed a smile and then put away the Great Spear of Desolation. After a while, I'll return to the Yuan realm to take a look. Lu Ming pondered. It had been many years since he entered the Heaven realm through the passageway of the Divine Wilderness Continent's 9 Dragons city. Now that his strength had improved rapidly, it was time to go back and take a look. Also, there were some debts that needed to be settled. For example, the Hung family, He family, and the Deluo Heaven sect in the Celestial City. The Mu family in the Divine Land. These people wanted to kill him in the past. It was time to settle the score. However, before Lu Ming returned, he planned to find Bubbles, Long Chen, Huang Ling, and the others. He now had too many resources in his hands and planned to give them some. This way, their cultivation speed would also increase. Lu Ming found a few acquaintances and asked them about Bubbles and the others. As he asked, he waited. At this moment, in a hall of the Lan family, the upper echelons of the Lan family and the Yang family were discussing matters. Lu Ming, you've gone too far. Lan Cheng, the heavenly emperor of the Lan family, let out a roar filled with endless killing intent. The other members of the Lan family were the same. However, while they were emitting killing intent, their eyes were also filled with fear. This was because they had already heard about the news of some great emperors of the Lan family being killed by Lu Ming in the Void Sacred Island. After all, there were many people who were still alive in the Heaven realm. When those people came out, they passed the news to the Lan family. When the upper echelons of the Lan family heard this news, they were shocked. They immediately gathered the upper echelons and the heavenly emperor of the Yang family to discuss matters. Family head, what should we do now? Someone asked Lan Cheng. Kill, we must kill him. We can't let Lu Ming grow. Otherwise, we'll all die. Lan Cheng said coldly. Fool. At this moment, an aged voice rang out, causing everyone's expression to change. In the next moment, a white-haired old man in coarse hemp clothes appeared in the hall. Everyone from the Lan family quickly stood up and bowed. Greetings, old ancestor. The heavenly emperor of the Yang family also stood up and bowed. Greetings, Lord Heavenly Sovereign. Those above the 4-star heavenly emperor were known as heavenly sovereigns. The old ancestor of the Lan family swept his gaze across the crowd and finally landed on Lan Cheng. Now, you still want to kill Lu Ming? Old ancestor, Lu Ming has killed so many great emperors of the Lan family. How can we not kill him? If we let him continue like this, the Lan family will be in danger, Lan Cheng said. Oh, then tell me, how should we kill him? The old ancestor of the Lan family said. How? Lan Cheng was stunned. With Lu Ming's current strength, do you have the confidence to send great emperors? If great emperors are not confident, do you and I have to do it ourselves? If you and I do it, what if someone finds out? Won't the heavenly emperor behind Lu Ming go crazy? Also, now that everyone in the Heaven realm knows that Lu Ming has a feud with the Lan family, if Lu Ming is secretly killed, won't others suspect that we did it? I'm afraid that the heavenly emperors behind him will also come directly to the Lan family. The old ancestor of the Lan family said coldly. Chapter 2384. It's been so many years since we last met. Your cultivation has improved quite quickly. Lu Ming patted Bubbles' head. After not seeing it for so many years, Lu Ming discovered that Bubbles' cultivation was about to reach the peak of the true Emperor realm. Among the younger generation of the Heaven realm, there were probably not many who could match it. This cultivation speed was already very terrifying. Of course, it was still incomparable to Dandan. After all, Dandan was the world turtle from ancient times. Although Bubble was one of the top 10 war beasts, it was a newborn. Everything had to be comprehended by itself. I can't compare to brother Lu Ming. Bubble hung on Lu Ming's neck and swayed back and forth. The Lan family and the Yang family are here. At this moment, a voice was heard. Many people looked in one direction. Over there, a group of people flew over. The leader was the Lan family's ancestor, a peerless expert. Behind the Lan family's ancestor was the Lan family's patriarch, Lan Cheng, and the Yang family's heavenly emperor. Behind them were some of the upper echelons of the two families. Almost all of the upper echelons of the Lan family and the Yang family had arrived. They landed on the square and walked towards Lu Ming. The Lan family's ancestor's face was full of smiles. He cupped his fists towards Lu Ming and said, "We're late. Please forgive us, little brother Lu Ming." "You're welcome," Lu Ming said with a faint smile on his face. "This old man won't talk too much. Today, I'm here to apologize to little brother Lu Ming. All these years, the Lan family has gone too far in some aspects and offended little brother Lu Ming. Please forgive us, little brother Lu Ming." The Lan family's ancestor cupped his fists. Even though they knew that the Lan family was going to apologize, many people were still stunned when they saw the Lan family's ancestor talking to Lu Ming in an amiable manner. They felt like they were in a dream. One had to know that the Lan family's ancestor was a peerless expert, a 4-star heavenly emperor. This kind of character was already standing at the peak of the world with shocking battle prowess. But now, he was humbly apologizing to a junior. This was rare even since ancient times. However, Lu Ming did not want to accept the other party's apology so easily. "Oh, I would like to know, in what way did you offend me? Lan family head, why don't you help me remember?" Lu Ming sneered and looked at Lan City. Lan Cheng's face turned ugly. However, he still tried his best to squeeze out a smile. He stepped forward and said, "The Lan clan has indeed offended little brother Lu Ming in some ways in the past. Please forgive us." "Forgive? You said it so casually. Let me ask you, what did you do to offend me? Tell me clearly. Can't you understand?" Lu Ming said coldly. Lan Cheng's anger soared to the sky. If any other junior dared to speak to him in such a manner, he would have slapped them to death. But he didn't dare to do that to Lu Ming. He dared to bet that there were likely quite a few heavenly emperor characters in the vicinity. The moment he made a move, the one who would be smacked to death would be him. In the end, he could only suppress his anger and answer honestly. "Back then, it was my Lan clan's heaven's pride, Blue Cloud, who offended little brother Lu Ming." He repeatedly targeted little brother Lu Ming, resulting in a grudge between both sides. Lan Cheng answered honestly. "What else?" Lu Ming asked. Also, back then, I was blinded by greed and coveted your indestructible ancient scripture. In the battlefield outside Two World City, I sent people to kill you." Lan Cheng clenched his teeth and spoke about this matter. He knew that the reason Lu Ming asked them to apologize in public was to make everything public. If he did not say it today, Lu Ming would definitely not let it go. As soon as these words came out, the crowd was in an uproar. Back then, the Lan clan said that Lu Ming killed Heavenly World's experts in the True Emperor battlefield to obtain treasures. All of this was a false accusation. Everything was because Lan Cheng and the Yang clan's Heavenly Emperor coveted Lu Ming's indestructible ancient scripture and wanted to kill Lu Ming. Despicable, really despicable. So this is the face of the Lan clan. Despicable villain, we were all deceived by him. I already knew that Lu Ming would not do such a thing. Many people roared and glared at the Lan clan. Lan Cheng gritted his teeth, but now, such a bitter fruit could only be swallowed by himself. Who asked him to offend a freak like Lu Ming? Lan clan has offended you, please forgive us, little brother Lu Ming. Yang clan has offended you, please forgive us, little brother Lu Ming. Lan Cheng and the Yang clan's heavenly emperor cupped their fists and bowed to Lu Ming. "Little brother Lu Ming, this is a little gift from the Lan clan and Yang clan, please accept it." Lan clan's old ancestor smiled and took out a storage ring. With a wave of his hand, the storage ring slowly flew to Lu Ming. Lu Ming reached out and took it. He scanned it with his spiritual consciousness and found that there were exactly 500 chaos stones inside. "Remember, I won't offend people if they don't offend me. The past can be written off, but if you offend me again in the future, I will destroy your entire clan." Lu Ming kept the storage ring and turned to leave, no longer looking at the Lan clan and the Yang clan. "Huang Ling, Long Chen, brother Ouyang. How about we go for a drink?" Today's harvest is not bad. Lu Ming looked at Long Chen, Huang Ling, and the rest. My hair, drink, drink, and drink to your heart's content. Unscrupulous monk was the first to shout. You monk, what are you drinking for? Huang Li despised. Everyone laughed, and the group of young people left amidst the laughter. Lu Ming bought a large amount of wine and came to Lu Ming's residence. Lu Ming took out a lot of divine beast meat. Over the years, Lu Ming had hoarded a lot of divine beast meat, all of which were at least emperor grade. Everyone began to eat, and soon, the place was filled with the fragrance of meat. Everyone ate the meat and drank big bowls of wine, chatting about the interesting things they had encountered over the years. During this time, Lu Ming took out a large amount of resources and distributed them to everyone. For example, supreme grade origin stones, primordial stones, and chaos stones. Everyone began to refuse because they were too precious. But when Lu Ming took out a pile of them, they did not refuse and each of them took some. These resources could indeed greatly increase their cultivation speed. It was not until the evening of the second day that everyone dispersed. It's time to return to the primordial realm, Lu Ming whispered, and then found Heavenly Emperor Heng Yu to ask for the way back to the primordial realm. It was relatively easy to go to the primordial realm in the Grand Pure Sky domain because there were many passageways. Two Realm City had such a passageway. Lu Ming came to a valley alone with Heavenly Emperor Heng Yu. Here, there were powerhouses standing guard. In the valley, the space was extremely unstable. Spatial rifts constantly appeared, and one could clearly see that behind the spatial rifts was a void passageway. This passageway was not big, but it was enough to accommodate dozens of people passing through at the same time. Senior Heng Yu, take care. Lu Ming cupped his fists, then took a step out and entered the spatial rift. In a flash, Lu Ming arrived in the void passageway. Lu Ming stepped forward. It was as if he could see the endless void passing by him. No idea how long had passed, light appeared in front. Lu Ming rushed out and discovered that he was standing high in the sky. Below was a boundless land. Chapter 2385. Lu Ming stood in the sky and looked around. Below him were vast mountains. According to what Senior Heng Yu said, this should be the Yuan Mountain Land. I don't know where it is. I need to find a place with people and ask. At the thought of this, Lu Ming's figure moved. He broke through the space and shuttled through the void at an extremely fast speed. After a few minutes, Lu Ming saw a city. He went in and asked around. He found out that it was the north of the Yuan Mountain Land. Lu Ming found a big force nearby and used their teleportation formation to go to the ancient Moon Sacred Ground, one of the 9 sacred grounds in the Yuan Mountain Land. It did not take long for Lu Ming to return to the ancient Moon Sacred Ground. When Lu Ming walked out of the teleportation formation outside the ancient Moon Sacred Ground, it immediately caused an uproar and he was recognized by the people nearby. Lu Ming was too famous in the ancient Moon Sacred Ground. In the past, Lu Ming joined forces with more than 10 big forces in the ancient Moon Sacred Ground to destroy the Foam Clan, Skywolf Tower, Golden Crow Clan, WAN Clan, and other big forces. It caused the ancient Moon Sacred Ground to be reshuffled and changed the structure of the ancient Moon Sacred Ground. Lu Ming was known by everyone in the ancient Moon Sacred Ground. However, Lu Ming disappeared after that. After so many years, Lu Ming's reappearance naturally caused a stir. Not long after, all the forces in the ancient Moon Sacred Ground knew that Lu Ming had returned. At this time, Lu Ming had arrived at the Great Pill Development Hall and met Uncle Kong. After so many years, Uncle Kong seemed to have aged and his face was filled with wrinkles. Uncle Kong's cultivation was most likely at the 2-star martial monarch realm, but according to him, he had been severely injured in the previous tribulation, which had damaged his foundation. As such, his strength was only slightly stronger than a 1-star martial monarch, but not by much. Otherwise, Great Emperor Tian Luo of the De Luo Heaven sect would not dare to be arrogant in front of Uncle Kong. Now, Uncle Kong was only a few years away from the next Heaven's tribulation. With his current state, he could not pass it. Palace Master, your cultivation. As soon as Uncle Kong saw Lu Ming, he could feel that Lu Ming was not ordinary. Although Lu Ming's cultivation was only at the peak of the true emperor realm, his qi and blood were extremely dense. He was like an ancient beast, giving off a terrifying aura. Even Uncle Kong could feel the immense pressure coming from it. This caused Uncle Kong to be extremely shocked, but at the same time, he was overjoyed. The stronger Lu Ming was, the happier he would be. Uncle Kong, some time ago, I went to the heaven realm and had a fortuitous encounter. I cultivated the archaic body cultivation, and my physical body is now equivalent to the emperor realm. Lu Ming gave a simple explanation, and Uncle Kong became even more delighted. Uncle Kong, has the Mu clan come looking for trouble all these years? Lu Ming asked. Back then, a great emperor from the Mu clan had died here. He had always been afraid that the Mu clan would come looking for trouble. The Mu clan is here to seek revenge for the Mu clan's emperor, but a powerful force has interfered in the divine fate land. The Mu clan has been wary of the divine fate land for many years, so they haven't done anything yet. Uncle Kong explained. Lu Ming nodded and said, it's fine if the Mu clan doesn't come, but if they don't give up, I'll have to pay them a visit. With that, a storage ring appeared in Lu Ming's hand, and he handed it over to Uncle Kong. Uncle Kong, this is for you. This is. Uncle Kong took the storage ring and scanned it with his spiritual sense, and his eyes widened. Grand Dao Fragment, this is a Grand Dao Fragment. Palace Master, it's a waste to give such a treasure to an old man like me. You should keep it for yourself. Uncle Kong quickly handed the storage ring over to Lu Ming. Lu Ming smiled and said, Uncle Kong, take it. I have a lot of Grand Dao Fragments, and it's enough for me to use. Uncle Kong wanted to return the Grand Dao Fragment to Lu Ming, but Lu Ming's attitude was firm. In the end, Uncle Kong accepted the Grand Dao Fragment. Lu Ming gave Uncle Kong a total of 18 Grand Dao Fragments, enough for him to break through to the 3-star Great Emperor realm, or even the 4-star Great Emperor realm. As long as Uncle Kong's cultivation broke through, his injuries would naturally heal, and he would be able to survive the next heavenly tribulation. Next, Huang Xiaolong chatted with Uncle Kong for a while. The next day, Lu Ming went to meet some old friends. In the ancient moon sacred ground, Lu Ming still had some friends, such as Mu Qingxue, Yi Dongfang, and the others. Their talents were limited, and they did not go to the heavenly world. Lu Ming stayed in the ancient moon sacred ground for more than 10 days, and he talked about martial arts with these friends. With Lu Ming's current cultivation realm and understanding of the laws, Yi Dongfang and the others were unfathomable. Lu Ming's casual pointers were enough to enlighten them, and they benefited greatly. More than 10 days later, Lu Ming left some resources for Yi Dongfang and the others, and then bid farewell to Uncle Kong. He left the ancient moon sacred ground and headed to Kang State. The most important thing for him to do was to return to Kang State and the divine wilderness, and then move his family and friends to a place of cultivation. A few days after Lu Ming returned to the ancient moon sacred ground, the news spread to the Hung clan and He clan in the Celestial City, and the Deluo Heaven sect in the ancient sun sacred ground. The He clan and Hung clan were originally sworn enemies, but now, they had gathered to discuss matters. In a hall in the Hung clan, the great emperors of the He clan, Hung clan, and Tian Luo Great Emperor Saturday. Lu Ming has disappeared for many years. Now that he has reappeared, I'm afraid it's not good for us. The great emperor of the Hung clan said with a grave expression. Lu Ming can't become an emperor, so he's not afraid. However, he can control the heavenly emperor's body, which is indeed troublesome. Tian Luo Great Emperor said. Back then, he had seen the power of the heavenly emperor's body. Even the 2-star Great Emperor of the Mu clan was killed. Then what should we do? Back then, we wanted to kill him, and Lu Ming is our sworn enemy. He will definitely not let us go. The Great Emperor of the He clan said. The three of them had a grave expression, not knowing what to do at that moment. The three of them were 1-star Great Emperors, but Lu Ming could control the heavenly emperor's body and kill a 2-star Great Emperor. Even if they joined forces, it would still be dangerous. At this moment, someone outside reported that there was important news. The Great Emperor of the Hung clan asked the person to come in. Patriarch, young Master Xinghe is back. An old man came in and said excitedly. Xinghe is back. Quick, let him in. The great emperor of the Hung clan was overjoyed. Hung Xinghe had gone to the heaven domain for a few decades. Now that he had returned, the great emperor of the Hung clan was looking forward to it. The three of them went out to welcome him, and soon, they saw Xinghe. Xinghe stood alone with his hands behind his back, exuding a sense of superiority. The three great emperors are here. Great. Seeing the three great emperors, Hung Xinghe only nodded faintly, without the respect he had in the past. In the heaven domain, he had seen too many great emperors, including heavenly emperors. Naturally, he didn't have the same respect for great emperors. The three great emperors of the Hung clan didn't find it strange because when Lu Ming saw Xinghe, he was shocked. True Emperor, Xinghe, you have broken through to the true Emperor realm? The great emperor of the Hung clan said excitedly. Not long ago. Hung Xinghe nodded with a faint pride on his face. Great. Ha ha ha. The great emperor of the Hung clan laughed excitedly. On the side, the great emperors of the He clan and Tian Luo great emperor were envious. Reaching the true emperor realm at such a young age, such talent was simply amazing. In the future, he would definitely break through to the great emperor realm or even higher. Chapter 2386. Xinghe, didn't I, Sun Tsungqiang, come back with you? Tian Luo great emperor asked with some anticipation. Since Xinghe had become a true emperor, his grandson, Luo Tsungqiang, must have reached a higher realm. Luo Tsungqiang is dead, Xinghe said faintly. What? Tian Luo great emperor was shocked and his pupils shrank rapidly. In the next moment, his eyes turned red as he roared, Tsungqiang is dead? How is that possible? How did he die? He was killed by Lu Ming, Xinghe said. He did not lie about this. Luo Tsungqiang was indeed killed by Lu Ming in Alcade ancient city. Lu Ming, Lu Ming, Lu Ming again. Tian Luo great emperor roared, his eyes were bloodshot and filled with endless murderous intent. Lu Ming. Two of his Deluo heaven sect's geniuses had died in the hands of Lu Ming. Back then, he was also injured because of Lu Ming. Damn it, damn it. Tian Luo great emperor roared in his heart. Of course, he did not care why Luo Tsungqiang and the others died in the hands of Lu Ming. Today, all of you are gathered here because of Lu Ming. I heard that Lu Ming has also returned to the Yuan realm, right? Xinghe continued. Returned to the Yuan realm? What do you mean? Did Lu Ming also go to the heaven realm? Great Emperor Heng's expression changed. That's right. Xinghe nodded. How is that possible? Didn't they say that Lu Ming can't become an emperor and go to the heaven realm? How did he go there? Great Emperor Heng, Great Emperor He, and the others were extremely surprised. I don't know how he went to the heaven realm, but he did go there. Otherwise, how could Luo Tsungqiang die in his hands? Moreover, Lu Ming has already become an emperor in the heaven realm, Xinghe said with a gloomy face. What? Lu Ming has become an emperor? How is that possible? He has mastered many different supreme laws at the same time. Even the heavenly emperor said that he can't become an emperor. How did he become an emperor? The three heavenly emperors exclaimed in shock. Not only did he become an emperor, but Lu Ming's strength is also an emperor now, Xinghe said. Hiss, this time, the Hung clan, He clan, and Tian Luo great emperor sucked in a breath of cold air. They couldn't be more shocked. Not only had Lu Ming become an emperor, but he could also fight with a great emperor. What kind of freak was this? They could not calm. What now? Great and the others, and they become anxious T? They Xian they become them great they. Emperor Ming return, TS. They became more anxious. Emperor become an. Xinghe had been hiding emperor hiding. For example, Lu Ming's combat strength. Recently, there were rumors that Lu Ming's combat strength was enough to kill a 4-star great emperor. Hung Xinghe did not say it out loud as he was afraid it would frighten Great Emperor Hung and the others. Lu Ming is too overpowered. If we allow him to grow, we will be the ones to die in the future. So, we have to get rid of him before he becomes too strong. Xinghe's eyes shone with a cold light. Get rid of him? How? Lu Ming's combat strength is comparable to a great emperor and he has the body of a heavenly emperor. How can we get rid of him with our strength? Great Emperor Heng said anxiously. Great Emperor He and Great Emperor Tian Luo were the same. All of them wanted to kill Lu Ming, but given their abilities, they could not do so at all. We can find help. Isn't Lu Ming and the Mu clan in the God's Fate Land sworn enemies? We can borrow the strength of the Mu clan to get rid of Lu Ming, Xinghe River. Everyone's eyes lit up. Yes, yes. The Mu clan sent a great emperor to the ancient moon sacred ground to kill him, but he was killed by Lu Ming with the body of a heavenly emperor. Mu Yang, the peerless genius of the Mu clan, also died in Lu Ming's hands. The Mu clan probably wants to get rid of Lu Ming more than us. We can contact the Mu clan and they will definitely help us. Great Emperor Tian Luo said excitedly. Luo Tsongqiong died in the hands of Lu Ming. Great Emperor Tian Luo's desire to kill Lu Ming was extremely strong. Does Lu Ming have any backing in the heaven domain? Will there be any trouble after we kill him? Great Emperor Heng was more careful. Don't worry. I have a master in the heaven domain. He's a heavenly emperor expert. Although it's not convenient for him to do anything, he will help us deal with the aftermath. Nothing will happen. Xinghe River. What? Xinghe, you have a heavenly emperor as your master? Good, good. Ha ha ha. Great Emperor Heng laughed excitedly. Great Emperor He clan and Great Emperor Tian Luo could only be envious. Since Xinghe's master was a heavenly emperor, they were more confident. They began to make preparations to contact the Mu clan to discuss how to kill Lu Ming. That night, Xinghe came to a secret place in Celestial City to meet an old man. This old man was Xinghe's master, a heavenly emperor expert. In the heaven domain, this old man was known as the Nine-Demon Heavenly Emperor. Is it done? The Nine-Demon Heavenly Emperor asked. It's done. The great emperors of the Heng clan, He clan and Deluo Heaven sect will join forces with the Mu clan to kill Lu Ming, Xinghe River. Millimeter, that's good. The Nine-Demon Heavenly Emperor nodded with satisfaction. Master, Lu Ming's performance in the Void Divine Island is amazing. With his current strength, even with the Mu clan, it won't be easy to kill Lu Ming, Xinghe River. I don't intend to let them kill Lu Ming. I just want them to test whether Lu Ming has a heavenly emperor by his side. If he doesn't, I will kill him myself. The Nine-Demon Heavenly Emperor said with a cold light in his eyes. Master, there are more than a dozen heavenly emperors behind Lu Ming. Even if we kill him, those heavenly emperors won't let us go. And the Heng clan, I'm afraid they will be destroyed, Xinghe said with some hesitation. Stupid. You are still soft-hearted. How can there be no sacrifice if you want to achieve great things? Every man for himself. Is the Heng clan more important or your own future more important? The Nine-Demon Heavenly Emperor scolded. Xinghe's face changed and showed a trace of ruthlessness. He said, Master, I understand. Yes, it's inevitable to make some sacrifices in order to achieve great things. Lu Ming has great luck. I'm afraid he must have encountered countless fortuitous encounters along the way. As long as I kill him and obtain his fortuitous encounters, I'll extract the indestructible ancient sutra from his soul. By then, we can find a place to hide. Who would be able to find us? We will hide and cultivate. Regardless of the evil god tribe and the heaven realm fighting to the death, as long as we achieve great success in our divine skill, we will have invincible strength. At that time, no matter who is in charge of this world, there will be a place for us. The Nine-Demon Heavenly Emperor said as the cold light in his eyes became more intense. Master, I will listen to all your orders. Xinghe's eyes were full of anticipation. Lu Ming, all your fortuitous encounters will belong to me. Chapter 2387. A few days later, Great Emperor Heng, Great Emperor Tian Luo, and the rest contacted the Mu clan. However, the Mu clan was more cautious. They planned to invite assassins from the Death God Nation to assassinate Lu Ming. Great Emperor Heng, Great Emperor Tian Luo, and the rest were overjoyed. With the help of the Death God Nation, it would save them a lot of trouble. Lu Ming was naturally unaware of all this. He stayed in the ancient moon sacred ground for more than 10 days before heading to Kang State. With his speed, he soon arrived at Kang State. Kang State was now under the control of Dragon God Valley. It was a thriving place. Lu Ming flew directly to Dragon God Valley. At this moment, Dragon God Valley was having a meeting. At the peak of a mountain, there was an empty square. In the middle of the square, there was a battle stage. Two figures were fighting fiercely on it. If Lu Ming was here, he would recognize one of the figures on the battle stage. It was Fatty Kong Jin, and the other person was Lu Ming's senior brother, Tian Chue. Both of their attacks were direct and direct, using the method of meeting force with force. Boom! Boom! One of them held a battle axe, while the other held a giant hammer. They constantly attacked and unleashed terrifying energy. After so many years, Kong Jin's cultivation had improved greatly. He had already broken through to the Great Saint realm. However, Tian Chue was naturally stronger than Kong Jin. He seemed to be at ease as he completely suppressed Kong Jin. There were many people sitting at the side of the battle stage. Lu Ming's master, Cloud Dragon Valley Master. There were also Xiel Wan, Supreme Nine Sons, Yang Kuangtu, and the others from Divine Wilderness Continent. Dragon God Valley had sent people to Divine Wilderness Continent. The two places had been connected. Kong Jin and Tian Chue exchanged dozens of blows. Kong Jin was completely suppressed. In the end, Tian Chue's hammer smashed him until he rolled on the ground. His fat jiggled non-stop. I'm done, I'm done. I'm no match for you. Let's fight again later. Kong Jin shouted. Weren't you quite arrogant before? Ha ha ha. Tian Chue laughed. Mph, you've been cultivating in Yuanlu since you were young. It's normal for your cultivation to be stronger than mine. Kong Jin curled his lips. Ha ha, fatty, did you get beaten up? At this moment, a clear and bright laughter came from the sky. Hearing this laughter, the fatty's eyes widened. Then, he was overjoyed and shouted, Lu Ming, haha, it's you, Lu Ming. Where have you been all these years? At the same time, the eyes of the Cloud Dragon Valley Master, Xiel Wan, Xia Zhouyang, and the others around the battle stage lit up as they looked towards the sky. There was no one in the sky. But in the next moment, a figure flashed. Lu Ming's figure appeared out of thin air. No one saw clearly how Lu Ming appeared. Lu Ming, it's really Lu Ming. Many people were overjoyed and rose into the air one after another. Master, Senior Xie, Senior Zhouyang, Big Brother Yang, Lu Ming cupped his fists and bowed to everyone. Lu Ming, where did you run off to? You've been gone for over 20 years, and there's not even a shadow of you. Kong Jin pursed his lips and walked over to give Lu Ming a punch. I went to the heavenly realm, and now I'm back to see you all. Lu Ming smiled. Heavenly realm? Kong Jin's eyes lit up and said, you actually went to the heavenly realm. How is it? Are there many experts in the heavenly realm? Of course, there are many experts. Martial emperors are everywhere, Lu Ming said. Everyone looked forward to it. Ming how's your cultivation? The Cloud Dragon Valley Master asked. Many people also looked at Lu Ming. They had all heard rumors that Lu Ming could not become a martial emperor. Master, don't worry. I've already become a martial emperor, Lu Ming said with a smile. Great. The Cloud Dragon Valley Master was overjoyed. Congratulations, Alliance Leader, Xiel Wan, Xia Zhouyang, and the others were also overjoyed. The scene was filled with joy. By the way, where are my parents? Are they still in the Divine Wilderness Continent? Lu Ming asked. No, they came to the Yuan continent. I don't know why, but the passage in Nine Dragons City suddenly collapsed. The origin chi in the Divine Wilderness Continent has become thin again. Now, many people from the Dragon Alliance have come to the Yuan continent to cultivate. Xiel Wan explained. Lu Ming nodded. This was within his expectations. Then, the news of Lu Ming's return quickly spread. The Dragon God Valley was bustling with noise and excitement. The people from the Dragon God Valley and the Dragon Alliance also gathered. Not long after, Lu Ming met his parents and some other acquaintances. I'm back this time to bring you all to another place with better conditions to cultivate. It was still the same square, but this time, countless people gathered. Lu Ming stood at the highest point and said, Another place? Ming Where do you plan to go? The Cloud Dragon Valley Master asked. Celestial City, the leader of the 9 great sacred lands in the Yuan Mountain Land. Lu Ming said word by word. The cultivation environment in the Kang state was still too bad. This time, Lu Ming came back to move the base to the Celestial City. Lu Ming would get rid of the Hung family and He family in the Celestial City to settle the people from the Dragon God Valley and the Dragon Alliance. Celestial City. The Cloud Dragon Valley Master's eyes lit up. Such a sacred land was simply unimaginable for them. Lu Ming could actually bring them to the Celestial City. Now, everyone can enter my small world first. After Lu Ming finished speaking, a small world appeared in his dantian. Lu Ming's body was surrounded by the resplendent World Divine Light. World Divine Light, True Emperor Realm, this is a true emperor. The legendary True Emperor. The scene was in an uproar. Everyone was shocked and overjoyed. Especially Lu Ming's father Lu Yuntian and mother Li Ping, they were even more overjoyed. The higher Lu Ming's achievements were, the happier they would be. For the people of the Kang State or Divine Wilderness Continent, the Void Emperor was a supreme existence, not to mention a true emperor. In the past, they had never even heard of it. The small world became bigger and bigger, finally reaching 100 miles in size, covering the sky above the square. Go in. The Cloud Dragon Valley Master, Xiel Wan, and the others rushed into Lu Ming's small world. Behind them, Lu Ming's parents and the others also rushed in one after another. One by one, the figures dashed into Lu Ming's small world and disappeared. Not long after, there were hundreds of thousands of people who entered Lu Ming's small world. When everyone entered Lu Ming's small world, it shrank and flew back into Lu Ming's dantian. Lu Ming's soul force condensed in the small world, it was no different from a real person. Such rich origin chi, the origin chi here is richer than in the Kang state. This is Lu Ming's small world, right? It's really vast. Everyone carefully sized it up and flew around curiously. Lu Ming's small world was 700,000 miles wide. Although it was considered small compared to the outside world and was not worth mentioning, a few 100,000 miles was more than enough for one to cultivate here. When Lu Ming led the crowd to the Enlightenment Ancient Tree, everyone was shocked. Because here, their cultivation speed increased crazily. Some people gained enlightenment on the spot and broke through. Chapter 2388. After that, everyone began to make arrangements. The Cloud Dragon Valley Master sent some people to collect some of the Dragon God's resources in Kang State and put them into Lu Ming's small world. For example, some spiritual herbs and sacred herbs were planted in Lu Ming's small world. Now, Lu Ming's small world had taken shape. After dozens of years of reproduction, green grass was everywhere. The trees had also fully grown, and some were even hundreds of meters tall. There were also various spiritual herbs and sacred herbs that decorated the mountain peaks. Lu Ming even took the time to buy a large number of low-level demonic beasts and sent them into his small world, making it seem full of vitality. It looked no different from a normal world. The Cloud Dragon Valley Master left a small group of people in Kang State. The others entered Lu Ming's small world, intending to move their base. After settling the matters in Kang State, Lu Ming made another trip to the Divine Wilderness Continent. When Lu Ming appeared, the Divine Wilderness Continent was naturally shaken. Now that the Divine Wilderness Continent was completely under the control of the Dragon Alliance, Lu Ming asked the upper echelons of the Dragon Alliance to gather all the talented people in the Dragon Alliance. Then, he asked for everyone's opinion. Those who were willing to leave with Lu Ming entered Lu Ming's small world. Naturally, most people were willing to leave. On the path of cultivation, everyone wanted to climb higher mountains, leave the Divine Wilderness, and enter a better place for cultivation. Who wouldn't be willing? After everything was ready, Lu Ming left the Divine Wilderness Continent and returned to Kang State. Then, without looking back, he headed for the Ancient Moon Sacred Ground. He planned to go to the Ancient Moon Sacred Ground first, then go to Celestial City to deal with the Heng and He families. However, just as Lu Ming was about to reach the Ancient Moon Sacred Ground, Lu Ming's eyes suddenly moved. This was because Lu Ming could sense a cold murderous intent in the sky. Whoosh! At this moment, A sword light suddenly pierced out from the void. Its speed was extremely fast. This sword was a one-hit kill. It was fast, accurate, and ruthless. Its power was extremely strong. The sword light contained the aura of the great Tao. The assassin was a great emperor. As soon as the sword light appeared, a terrifying killing intent surged out. The sword light was already nearing Lu Ming's forehead. But Lu Ming's expression was very calm. Before his opponent's sword light could pierce his glabella, his 2 fingers had already caught the sword light between his eyebrows. Then, the sword light froze, unable to move forward at all. It was a black-clothed man with a mask on his face. It was the death god mask. At this moment, the black-clothed man's pupils contracted rapidly. The killing blow that he had been brewing for a long time was actually caught between Lu Ming's 2 fingers. No matter how hard he tried, Lu Ming's fingers and his sword couldn't move an inch. Terrifying, what terrifying strength! He understood that Lu Ming's strength was too terrifying, and did not match the information they had received. Retreat. He let go of the sword in his hand and retreated as fast as he could. He had the cultivation of a great emperor and was good at speed. His speed was extremely fast. However, Lu Ming was faster than him. Lu Ming's figure flashed and appeared behind him. He reached out a hand and clasped his neck. A terrifying force surged in. The black-clothed man's body was sore and weak, unable to move at all. At this moment, he was extremely terrified. His cultivation was a 1-star great emperor. Given his cultivation, he did not have the slightest ability to resist Lu Ming. How was that possible? How could Lu Ming be so strong? Death God Kingdom, haha. It's too late to leave now. Lu Ming sneered and looked to the front. Then, the muscles on his body shook and his figure dashed out. He did not know how far he had dashed in an instant. In front, there was another black-clothed man with a death god mask on his face, fleeing frantically. This person's cultivation was stronger than the black-clothed man in Lu Ming's hand. He was a 2-star great emperor. However, he didn't dare to stay any longer. A 1-star great emperor was as weak as a baby in Lu Ming's hands. Lu Ming's strength was definitely above that of a 2-star great emperor. He could only flee. Otherwise, he would die. However, fleeing was also a dead end. Bang! Lu Ming threw out a punch. A terrifying fist intent crushed the void. The black-clothed man felt a deadly threat and unleashed his full strength, slashing backward with his sword. The slash was strong, but it couldn't withstand a single blow from Lu Ming's fist intent. As the fist intent passed by, the sword intent collapsed. The black-clothed man's body exploded and turned into ashes. A 2-star great emperor was killed in a single blow. The black-clothed man in Lu Ming's hand opened his eyes wide. Damn it, I've been tricked. He roared in his heart. They had received news that Lu Ming's strength was only equivalent to that of a 1-star great emperor. However, he had a heavenly emperor's body with him. However, in the eyes of these assassins, what they valued was the opponent's strength. External forces were useless. They could kill with a single blow. Even if they had a heavenly emperor's body, they couldn't use it. However, Lu Ming's current strength was more than that of a 1-star great emperor. Even a 3-star great emperor wasn't that strong. He was simply an advanced great emperor. Death God Nation, haha. Tell me, who sent you to kill me? Lu Ming looked at the black-clothed man in his hand and said coldly, "Don't you think you can get any information from me?" The black-clothed man said, "Oh, is that so?" Lu Ming said faintly. The power of the realm swirled and the other party's mask turned into ashes, revealing a pale middle-aged man's face. Bang! Lu Ming suddenly attacked. The power of law was like a blade, cutting off one of the other party's arms. However, the other party only groaned and didn't even frown. These assassins had undergone strict training and their minds were far more tenacious than ordinary people. Moreover, the other party was a great emperor. "You don't have to waste your time. Just kill me." The other party looked coldly at Lu Ming. "You want to die? Not so easy," Lu Ming said coldly and then punched the man's dantian. The terrifying power directly tore the man's small world apart and completely crippled his cultivation. With his cultivation crippled, the man let out a roar and stared at Lu Ming with bloodshot eyes. For a great emperor, having his cultivation crippled after a lifetime of hard work was worse than death. "Are you going to tell me or not?" Lu Ming said coldly. "I won't tell you. Give up." The black-clothed man roared. "If you don't tell me, I can only search your soul." After Lu Ming finished speaking, he pointed his finger at the other party's forehead and a powerful force poured in. He wanted to search the other party's soul to find out the secrets he knew. At the same time, Lu Ming wanted to find the headquarters of the Death God Nation and destroy this force in one fell swoop. This wasn't the first time this force had sent people to assassinate him. Back then, before the Ten Earths battle, he was assassinated by this force. That time, he almost died. If it wasn't for the scapegoat Xie Nianqing gave him, he would have been in danger. Chapter 2389. Lu Ming pointed his finger between the eyebrows of the man in black. A powerful force, together with Lu Ming's own soul power, surged into the man's sea of consciousness and rushed towards his soul to search his soul. However, when Lu Ming's soul power approached the man's soul, Lu Ming's face suddenly changed. This was because he felt a terrifying dark force near the man's soul. When Lu Ming's soul power approached, the dark force exploded and swallowed the man in black's soul. The man in black let out a shrill scream and his body struggled violently. In just a few breaths, his soul disappeared without a trace. Lu Ming withdrew his power and his face was gloomy. Someone had set up a seal near the man in black's soul. Once someone searched his soul, the seal would explode and destroy the soul of the person who was searched. No wonder the Death Nation was so mysterious. For so many years, no one had been able to find the headquarters of the Death Nation. At this moment, the man in black had completely turned into an idiot. Lu Ming waved his hand and flung the man in black away. He then fell into deep thought. The Death Nation wouldn't attack me for no reason. Someone must have hired an assassin from the Death Nation. Who could it be? In the Yuan realm, the most likely suspects are the Hung family, the He family, and the Deluo Heaven sect. However, the Death Nation is a huge force in the Divine Fate land. They have many experts. The Hung family, the He family, and the Deluo Heaven sect don't have such power. Then, it must be the Mu family. Many thoughts flashed through Lu Ming's mind. He had deduced most of the matter. However, I can't rule out the possibility that other forces want to get rid of me. Or, it could be an expert from the Heaven realm. I must investigate this matter thoroughly. The Death Nation didn't kill me this time, but there will be a next time. I have to find someone to help me. Thinking of this, Lu Ming continued to move forward and entered the ancient moon sanctuary. He returned to the Great Elixir Development Hall and let everyone know that he was back. Then, he used the Divine Breath skill to change his appearance. He left the Great Elixir Development Hall and came to the passage that he had used to return from the Heaven realm. Lu Ming arrived at the Grand Lucidity Celestial Realm through the passage and sent a message to Dandan. Dandan was very cunning and had many tricks up his sleeve. Perhaps he had a way to find out. At the same time, Lu Ming transmitted a message to Bubble. Bubble's current understanding of the space-time laws was already extremely profound. She might be able to help. Not long after, Dandan and Bubbles arrived. Big brother Lu Ming. As soon as Bubbles saw Lu Ming, it hung around his neck. "Lu Ming, why are you looking for me?" Dandan asked casually. It had only been a short while since they last met, but Dandan's cultivation had improved again, reaching the 7 stars martial monarch realm. "I need your help," Lu Ming said. "Ha ha ha, I knew you needed my help. You've found the right person. Tell me, what's the matter?" Dandan grinned and said with a smug look on her face. Immediately, Lu Ming told Bubble about the matter. Someone actually wants to harm Big Brother Lu Ming. "Bubble, go and destroy them." Bubble was extremely displeased after hearing that. "Kid, you want me to search your soul to find out the mastermind and the headquarters of the Death God Nation?" Dandan asked. "That's right." Lu Ming nodded. "It's very difficult to search your soul after placing a restriction in your soul." Dandan frowned. "Didn't you say that I've found the right person?" Lu Ming said in disdain. Dandan glared and said, "What's wrong? Don't underestimate me. Let me tell you, although this matter is difficult, it's not difficult for me. However, I still need this little guy's help. After saying that, Dandan looked at Bubble. You need Bubble's help? Lu Ming was puzzled. Yes, we'll know when the time comes. Let's go. Dandan said. Wait a minute, just in case, let's find 2 more helpers, Lu Ming said. Then, Lu Ming sent another message. Not long after, the void flashed, and 2 figures appeared. These 2 figures were Tu Yi and Lei Yi. Lu Ming was worried that there would be experts from the heaven realm involved in this, so he found Tu Yi and Lei Yi just in case. Greetings, young master. Tu Yi and Lei Yi bowed. Immediately, Lu Ming told them about the matter. Tu Yi, Lei Yi, the 2 of you enter my small world first, so as not to alert the enemy, Lu Ming said. Okay. Tu Yi and Lei Yi nodded, then entered Lu Ming's small world. Lu Ming let Dandan enter the small world as well, only bringing Bubble along. They returned to the primordial realm through the passage and quietly returned to the Great Pill Evolution Palace. After returning to the Great Pill Evolution Palace, Lu Ming stayed for more than 10 days before Lu Ming set off for Celestial City. He was deliberately giving the other party time to react. Lu Ming swaggered, not hiding his appearance and aura at all. Sure enough, on the way, he was assassinated again. This time, the Death God Nation sent out 3 experts, and their cultivation was shockingly high. 1 was a 4-star Great Emperor, and 2 were 3-star Great Emperors. Obviously, the last time the Death God Nation's assassination failed, and the 2 experts did not return, which made them cautious. This time, they directly sent out 3 experts. With such a lineup, coupled with the assassination, even a 4-star Great Emperor would be in danger. There was a high possibility that he would die. Unfortunately, they met Lu Ming. This battle was almost a one-sided battle. That 4-star Great Emperor was smashed to death by Lu Ming with a few punches. The 2 3-star Great Emperors were also heavily injured by Lu Ming with a punch each. One of them had his cultivation crippled by Lu Ming, and all of his movements were sealed. He was then thrown to the ground. Lu Ming interrogated him, but the other party did not say a word. With a thought, Dandan's figure appeared. Dandan, what should we do? Lu Ming asked. Their souls have been set up with restrictions. It's very difficult to search their souls. As soon as a force approaches their souls will self-destruct. Therefore, my method does not go through their souls. In the brain of every living being, there are countless tiny meridians. Some of those meridians are called memory meridians, and have the ability to remember things. My method is to use a spell formation to control this person's consciousness, and then have Bubble use a time reversal magic to see what happened in the past through his memory nerve. Dandan explained. Lu Ming's eyes lit up. Indeed, this method was definitely feasible. With Bubble's current control of the space-time law, there was no problem in using time reversal. You guys, at the side, the 3-star Great Emperor who was not crippled was shocked. He wanted to struggle, but he was directly trampled to death by Dandan. Then, Dandan started to set up the array. Runes entered the other party's body one after another. After a while, the other party's eyes became lax as if he had become retarded. Little guy, do it. Dandan shouted. Chirp chirp. Bubble made a move, and the powerful power of time enveloped the black-robed man. Then, Dandan waved his hand, and images appeared in the void. These images were the other party's memories. For example, the images of the other party ambushing Lu Ming, the images on the way here, and so on. Chapter 2390. Dandan used a formation to control the other party's consciousness. Together with Bubble's time reversal, she projected the other party's memories. It was as if time was flowing backward, and the memories appeared one by one. Soon, Lu Ming saw an image. It was the man in black discussing something with several others. The celestial emperors of House Heng and Exalted, Lu Ming recognized them at a glance. They were the celestial emperors of House Heng, Exalted, and he. There were 2 others that Lu Ming didn't recognize. Apart from them, the rest were the men in black from the Nation of Death. It really is House Heng and he. A cold glint flashed through Lu Ming's eyes. And House Mu. Although there was no sound in the memories, he could discern what they were saying from the shape of their lips. House Heng, he, exalted heaven sect, and House Mu, I didn't go looking for you, but you've tried to kill me time and time again. There's no need for you to stay in this world. Lu Ming said coldly. The memories didn't stop, but continued to rewind. Soon, Lu Ming's eyes lit up. He saw what he wanted to see, how to find the Nation of Death's headquarters. The Nation of Death's headquarters was an underground city, an ancient underground city. Moreover, it wasn't static, but mobile. Every once in a while, it would move to another location. Moreover, the way to get to the underground city was very complicated. One step was all it took to find it. No wonder no one has found the Nation of Death's headquarters after so many years. Lu Ming murmured, his eyes filled with cold killing intent. He would destroy the Nation of Death's headquarters as well. Ah! Suddenly, the man in black roared and convulsed. He fell to the ground, foaming at the mouth. The restriction on his soul has been activated. His soul has been destroyed and his nerves are damaged. His memories can no longer be seen, Dandan said. That's enough. I've seen what I wanted to see, Lu Ming said. Bubble called it a day and sat on Lu Ming's shoulder to recover. Using time reversal consumed a lot of Bubble's energy. Lu Ming, do you want to deal with the Mu clan and Hung clan first, or do you want to deal with the Nation of Death first? Dandan asked. Let's destroy the Mu family and Hung family first to avoid alerting the enemy. The Death God Nation isn't in a hurry. They definitely don't know that we've already found a way to reach their headquarters. Lu Ming sneered. Immediately, Lu Ming turned the corpses of the assassins into ashes. After that, he continued his journey towards Celestial City. Not long later, they arrived at Celestial City. When Lu Ming arrived at the Heng and He families, he found that the two families were already empty. Only a few people with low cultivation were left behind to guard them. They're leaving pretty fast. I reckon they've already gone to the Mu clan, Lu Ming sneered. Then, his aura erupted. Boom. Lu Ming's aura was like that of an ancient beast. His qi and blood were boiling, and it was terrifying to the extreme. The terrifying aura was like a tsunami, pressing down on the countless palaces of the Hung family. How could the remaining people of the Hung family resist this kind of pressure? Each and every one of them knelt on the ground in fear, as if they were facing a god. Who is that? What a terrifying aura. It's Lu Ming, it's Lu Ming. What? Lu Ming, didn't they say that he can't become an emperor? This kind of aura is simply boundless and unfathomable. I'm afraid that Lu Ming has already become an emperor. Moreover, his cultivation is unfathomable. All around, people discovered the situation here and began to discuss in shock. Clearly, Lu Ming had succeeded in his cultivation and came back to find trouble with the Hung family. This news spread out like a hurricane. In the Celestial City, countless silhouettes flew towards the Hung clan. The surroundings of the Hung family were surrounded tightly for a moment. Strange, why didn't anyone from the Hung family come out? There's not a single strong aura in the Hung family. All of them are very weak. Could it be that the Hung family knows that Lu Ming is coming, and the experts of the Hung family have all retreated? It's very likely. Looks like the Hung family is going to be wiped out today. Many people speculated and then became excited. The Hung family and the He family were the two strongest forces in Celestial City. With a great emperor overseeing them, they were usually arrogant and despotic. The other forces had to give them face. Now that they were really going to be wiped out, it was simply too satisfying. Everyone in the Hung family, listen up. From today onwards, the Hung family belongs to me. All of you, leave. I'll give you 1 hour. Those who don't leave will be killed without mercy. At this time, Lu Ming opened his mouth, and his voice spread to every corner. All of them were weaklings. Lu Ming disdained to make a move. Because the number of these weaklings was too great. Hundreds of thousands, millions of them. Lu Ming wasn't a bloodthirsty person, and he wouldn't kill these weaklings either. If he wanted to kill, he would kill the strongest group of people. Let's go. The people of the Hung family didn't hesitate. As soon as Lu Ming's voice fell, they rushed out of the Heng family one after another. Facing an enemy like Lu Ming, with their cultivation, it was impossible for them to resist. Only death awaited them if they resisted. The upper echelons of the Heng family had left. There was no need for them to protect the Heng family with their lives. Not long after, not a single person was left in the Heng family. Dandan, help me set up a formation. Lu Ming transmitted his voice to Dandan. All right. Dandan nodded. His figure moved and flew out. With a wave of his hands, endless runes spread out. This time, Dandan spent a total of 3 days to set up the formation. A huge formation was formed, enveloping the countless palaces in the Heng family. With Dandan's current cultivation, unless the Heavenly Emperor came, no one would be able to break the formation that he spent 3 days to set up. Following that, Lu Ming entered the small world and discussed with Xiel Wan, the Cloud Dragon Valley Master, and the others to send people to guard the Heng family. In the end, the Cloud Dragon Valley Master led the people of the Dragon God Valley to guard the He family. What a rich origin chi! The Cloud Dragon Valley Master and the others came out of Lu Ming's small world. They looked around excitedly, feeling the origin chi around them. Celestial City was the leader of the 9 great cultivation holy lands in the land of Yuan Mountain. The cultivation environment was many times better than Kang Province. They were naturally excited. Moreover, the Heng family's territory was vast. Although there were many people in the Dragon God Valley, they could easily stay there. After the arrangements were made, Lu Ming came to the He family. The He family was the same as the Heng family. All the experts had left. Lu Ming easily occupied the He family and let Dandan set up a formation. Then, Lu Ming let the people of the Dragon God Valley and his parents out to stay in the He family. Although there was the Enlightenment ancient tree in his small world, the Heaven and Earth origin chi was far inferior to Celestial City. For the time being, the cultivation environment in Celestial City was better. Moreover, Lu Ming did not plan to let so many people stay in his small world. Because he had encountered many dangers along the way. He did not know what would happen in the future. If he encountered danger, the people in his small world would also be in danger. From now on, the Heng family and He family's properties will be under my name, Lu Ming. Chapter 2391. On this day, Lu Ming's voice spread throughout Celestial City. A terrifying aura filled every corner of Celestial City. Great Emperor. That was a powerful aura comparable to a great emperor. It was terrifying. Everyone was so shocked that they couldn't be any more shocked. Lu Ming had reached the great emperor realm in just a short period of time. He clan and Heng clan have done a lot of evil. Now that they have been eliminated, we will definitely assist the great emperor. Someone replied and addressed Lu Ming as great emperor. The properties left behind by He clan and Heng clan were very shocking. If he didn't use his strength to intimidate them, there would be people fighting for them. However, Valley Master Yun Long and Xiel Wan were too weak to compete with these forces in Celestial City. Lu Ming could only intimidate them with his strength. With his intimidation, these people would not dare to act rashly. Looks like I have to send some puppets from Chaos Palace to guard this place, Lu Ming thought in his heart. The puppets in Chaos Palace were numerous experts. Except for Tu Yi, Jin Yi and the rest who were heavenly emperors, the rest were great emperors, true emperors, void emperors, saints, etc. It was enough to send a few great emperor puppets to guard this place. Lu Ming stayed in Celestial City for a few days. When things were more or less settled down, Lu Ming went to Ancient Sun Sacred Ground again. Deluo Heaven Sect was the same as Heng Clan and He Clan. Most of the higher-ups had left, leaving only a few weaker ones to guard this place. Lu Ming helped Ouyang Wushuang's clan to occupy Deluo Heaven Sect's territory. Heng Clan, He Clan, Deluo Heaven Sect, do you think I can't do anything to you after you hide in Mu Clan? Just nice, I'll wipe you all out. Lu Ming sneered, killing intent flashed in his eyes. He stayed in Celestial City for a while and left a large amount of resources. Then, he left Celestial City and headed towards the Divine Fate Land. However, there was one more person on this trip, and that was Autumn Moon. He and Autumn Moon had not seen each other for many years, and Autumn Moon missed him dearly. Now that they had met, she naturally could not bear to part with him. With Lu Ming's current cultivation, the journey was very smooth. He crossed the sea and entered the divine fate land. Lu Ming did not stop and went straight to Aeon City. The Mu family was one of the strongest forces in Aeon City. After Lu Ming, Autumn Moon, Bubbles, and Dandan entered Aeon City, they didn't take action immediately. Instead, they found a place to stay. However, Lu Ming did not conceal his identity. His goal was to alert the Mu family and gather all the experts of the Mu family. Then, he would wipe them out in one fell swoop. Mid-Autumn Moon, let's go out for a walk, Lu Ming said to Autumn Moon. Sure. Autumn Moon's face was full of smiles. She held Lu Ming's hand and walked out. The two of them strolled around Aeon City. Later, the two of them walked into a huge market. This was the largest market in Aeon City. There were all kinds of treasures inside, dazzling one's eyes. Before the 10 Earths Assembly battle, Lu Ming came to Aeon City. However, due to the pressure from the 10 Earths Assembly battle, Lu Ming did not have the chance to walk around to his heart's content. This was the first time he came to this market. Mid-Autumn Moon, what do you want? Just tell me, Lu Ming said with a smile. Sure. Autumn Moon blinked her big eyes a few times and then looked around. Later, they walked into a divine weapon shop. It sold all kinds of weapons, such as sacred weapons, void overlord weapons, and true overlord weapons. Young master, I want that. Autumn Moon looked for a while and pointed at a hairpin. This hairpin was made of a special kind of jade. It looked very exquisite. This young lady has good taste. This hairpin is made of 10,000-year-old warm jade. Wearing it will not only beautify your face, but also help in cultivation and comprehending the laws. It's a top-grade void overlord weapon, a tall and thin middle-aged man said with a smile. How many origin stones? I want it, Lu Ming said. 5,000 supreme-grade origin stones, the tall and thin middle-aged man said with a smile. 5,000 supreme-grade origin stones is so expensive. Young master, I don't want it. Autumn Moon was shocked when she heard that. 5,000 supreme-grade origin stones were supreme-grade origin stones, the highest grade of origin stones. Even great emperors and heavenly emperors used supreme-grade origin stones to cultivate. It was obvious how precious they were. 5,000 was indeed a high price. However, to Lu Ming, 5,000 supreme-grade origin stones were just a drop in the ocean. Silly girl, since you like it, I'll buy it no matter how expensive it is. Lu Ming smiled and waved his hand. A storage ring appeared. He threw it to the tall and thin middle-aged man and said, Shopkeeper, 5,000 supreme-grade origin stones. The tall and thin middle-aged man took the ring and scanned it with his spiritual consciousness. He smiled and then handed the hairpin to Lu Ming. As soon as Lu Ming took the hairpin, a voice was heard. Wait a minute, I want this hairpin. As the voice was heard, a group of people walked over. The leader was a young woman. She was very beautiful, but she was not as beautiful as Autumn Moon. Behind the young woman was a young woman dressed like a maid and two old men. When he saw the young woman, the shopkeeper's expression changed. He then smiled apologetically and said, So it's Miss Dongfang. It's an honor to have Miss Dongfang here. Shopkeeper, sell that hairpin to me, the young woman said in a commanding tone. The shopkeeper smiled bitterly and said, Miss Dongfang, you're too late. This young man has already bought the hairpin. The young lady responded coldly and looked at Lu Ming with a hint of arrogance. She lifted her neck and continued in a commanding tone. Give this hairpin to me. How many primordial stones do you want? I'll give them to you. I'm sorry, this hairpin is not for sale, Lu Ming said with a smile. Not for sale? The young woman's eyes narrowed and flashed with displeasure. She said, You want to raise the price of the origin stones, right? Tell me, how many origin stones do you want? I said, I'm not for sale. I don't lack origin stones, Lu Ming said. Kid, what did you say? My young lady has her eyes on it. You have to sell it even if you don't want to. You probably don't know who my young lady is. She's Dongfang Shueyu, the #1 genius in the Divine Land. She's Xian Lin's fiancée. Do you know? The servant girl behind the young lady jumped out and scolded, looking at Lu Ming threateningly. The #1 genius in the Divine Land? Lu Ming muttered. It seemed that Tian Ming, Yuan Xin, and the others had been in the Heaven Realm for decades. A new batch of geniuses had appeared in the Divine Land. Are you afraid now? Let me tell you, young Master Xian Lin is the young master of the Xian family in Eon City. If you don't respect him today, don't even think about leaving Eon City, the maid continued to shout. The young woman, who was Dongfang Shueyu, showed a proud look. Xian Lin, Dongfang Shueyu, I've never heard of you. You can get lost now. Lu Ming said Dandan, then turned around and walked toward the mid-autumn moon. I'll bring you the mid-autumn moon. Chapter 2392. Mid-autumn moon was already extraordinary. With the hairpin, she looked even more beautiful. Coupled with the blush on her cheeks, she looked even more alluring. Dongfang Shueyu, who was at the side, was trembling with anger. Lu Ming actually told her to get lost. Who was she? She was a genius of her generation and her fiancé was the #1 genius of the Divine Land. Lu Ming actually told her to get lost. Courting death, he was courting death. Dongfang Shueyu screamed in her heart. Especially after seeing mid-autumn moon's beauty, she went crazy with jealousy. Women were naturally jealous. Dongfang Shueyu had always been proud of her beauty. However, compared to mid-autumn moon, she was completely outshone by autumn moon. Bitch, how dare you wear my hairpin? I'll tear your face apart. Dongfang Shueyu screamed. Her body was like lightning as she pounced towards mid-autumn moon. Her claws were like knives as she clawed towards autumn moon's face. Get lost. Lu Ming shouted coldly as he slapped her. Lu Ming's speed was so fast that Dongfang Shueyu couldn't dodge at all. She was slapped by Lu Ming. Slap. A crisp sound rang out. Dongfang Shueyu screamed as her body flew out and fell to the ground. Her face was swollen. Of course, Lu Ming had held back. Otherwise, she wouldn't even be left with ashes. Dongfang Shueyu was stunned. Everyone else in the shop was stunned. Lu Ming actually dared to slap Dongfang Shueyu. Did he want to die? Kill him for me, kill this bastard. Dongfang Shueyu was stunned for a moment before she reacted and screamed. Kid, you're courting death. Kneel down and admit your mistake. There were 2 old men who came with Dongfang Shueyu. At this moment, one of them shouted and pounced towards Lu Ming. A terrifying aura exploded and a strong pressure pressed towards Lu Ming. Everyone else at the side retreated. Martial Emperor. This old man was a martial emperor. However, he was only a 1-star illusionary martial emperor. He was the weakest martial emperor. Scram. Lu Ming shouted coldly and kicked out. His speed was as fast as lightning, and it landed on the opponent's face. The old man also screamed and flew out, following in Dongfang Shueyu's footsteps. His face was swollen like a pig's. So strong. Everyone was shocked. Killing a 1-star martial monarch with a single move. Such strength was impressive. Moreover, Lu Ming did not look very old. There were not many people who could reach the martial emperor realm at his age in the entire Divine Fate Land. Scram. If you don't scram, I'll kill you. Lu Ming coldly shouted, and a chilling murderous intent filled the air. Lu Ming, his Lu Ming. Suddenly, someone shouted from the side. Lu Ming had taken first place in the Ten Lands meeting and was very famous. Many people had seen Lu Ming before and now he was finally recognized. What? Lu Ming? Which Lu Ming? Nonsense. Of course it's that Lu Ming who defeated everyone and took first place in the first Ten Lands meeting. It's him. He disappeared for decades. I didn't expect him to appear again. All of a sudden, the surrounding people discussed and sized up this legendary figure curiously. Lu Ming's reputation was very well known. In the Divine Fate Land, as long as one's cultivation was slightly higher, they would have heard of him. He took first place in the first Ten Lands meeting. His talent was unparalleled, but he could not become a martial emperor. So you're Lu Ming, a cripple, a cripple who can never become an martial emperor. How dare you hit me? If you have the ability, don't leave. I'll tear you into pieces. At this moment, Dongfang Shuiyu screamed again. Oh, is that so? I'd like to see how you're going to tear me into pieces. I'll wait for you here, Lu Ming said and sat down on a chair at the side. You cripple, trash, just you wait. Dongfang Shuiyu screamed a few times and hurriedly left with her people. Young Master Lu, you'd better leave quickly. Dongfang Shuiyu will definitely go to the Xian family to look for Xian Lin. The Xian family is one of the strongest forces in Aeon City. Their strength is unfathomable. The shopkeeper hurriedly came to warn him. No worries. Lu Ming smiled. It was better to blow things up. Blow things up and let the Mu family prepare. Lu Ming wanted to give the other party time to prepare. Seeing that he could not persuade him, the shopkeeper shook his head and retreated. Lu Ming and Autumn Moon waited leisurely. News of what happened here quickly spread. The first place in the Tenlands meeting, Lu Ming, reappeared. Moreover, he even slapped Dongfang Shuiyu in public. This was no small matter. Dongfang Shuiyu's fiancé was the #1 prodigy in the Divine Fate Land. Would the two of them clash? Moreover, the Xian family would not let the matter rest. How should Lu Ming deal with it? Immediately, countless people who heard the news rushed over and surrounded the shop to watch. Xian Lin is here. Lu Ming did not wait for long before exclamations came from outside. A group of people stepped on the air. The leader was a young man. He was very handsome and wore a black iron battle suit. He looked mighty and extraordinary. This person was the #1 prodigy in the Divine Fate Land, Xian Lin. Dongfang Shuiyu followed beside Xian Lin. At this time, the swelling on her face had subsided. Her face was full of tears, looking like she had suffered a great grievance. Behind them were some people who were all experts of the Xian family. Lu Ming, get out here. Xian Lin came to the door of the shop and roared. 3-star illusionary emperor, about 50 years old, far inferior to Tianming and the rest. Lu Ming did not go out. With a sweep of his spiritual consciousness, he knew Xian Lin's cultivation and age. Reaching 3-star illusionary emperor at the age of 50 was indeed far inferior to Tianming and Yuan Xin. Autumn Moon, let's go and meet the #1 prodigy. Lu Ming smiled faintly and walked out of the shop with Qiu Yu. All of a sudden, all eyes fell on Lu Ming. Lu Ming. Xian Lin's gaze also fell on Lu Ming. How do you want to settle this? Lu Ming looked at Xian Lin. Fight with me. Xian Lin stepped out and his voice spread far away, revealing a strong fighting spirit. Many people's eyes lit up. Xian Lin wanted to challenge Lu Ming. One was the #1 prodigy now, the other was the #1 prodigy decades ago. Who was stronger between the two of them? Who do you think is stronger between Lu Ming and Xian Lin? It's hard to say, but I think it's Xian Lin. Lu Ming can't become an emperor. His cultivation is stuck at the quasi-emperor realm. No matter how much time has passed, it's difficult for him to improve. According to Lu Ming's strength back then, he can't be a match for Xian Lin. That's right, I think so too. Many people discussed and felt that Lu Ming was not a match for Xian Lin. The Sky Emperor said personally that Lu Ming could not become an emperor. This could not be wrong. Although Lu Ming was powerful back then, he could only fight with the top talents of 2-star illusionary emperors. On the other hand, Xian Lin's cultivation was a 3-star illusionary emperor. The law that he mastered was also the strongest law. His combat strength was extremely powerful. It was not difficult for him to suppress Lu Ming back then. Chapter 2393. Fight with me. I don't want to bully the weak. Lu Ming shook his head slightly. Xian Lin's cultivation was not worth mentioning in his eyes. Lu Ming, you don't dare to fight, do you? Xian Lin took a step forward in an aggressive manner. During the Battle of Tenlands, he was still young and his cultivation was insufficient. He couldn't compete with Lu Ming and the rest, and that was something he regretted. He was ambitious and wanted to defeat Lu Ming to prove that if he was in that era, he could also become the #1 genius. If you want to fight, I'll fight with you. Autumn Moon said. Mph, Lu Ming, are you going to hide behind a woman? You are indeed useless. Useless. You actually won the first battle of 10 lands. What a joke. Attack, I'll defeat you in 10 moves. Xian Lin shouted coldly and kept stepping forward. His powerful aura kept pressuring Lu Ming. In the end, he threw a punch and a giant tortoise was formed. It was as big as a mountain and it pressed down on Lu Ming. Since you want to fight, I'll play with you. Lu Ming said calmly and stepped out. With a swoosh, Lu Ming charged towards Xian Lin. Boom. Without seeing Lu Ming attack, Lu Ming charged past and Xian Lin's giant tortoise exploded. Lu Ming didn't stop and he appeared in front of Xian Lin in an instant. The two of them were less than a meter apart. Xian Lin's pupils constricted and he roared in horror. He retreated frantically. But suddenly, he realized that he couldn't move at all. The space around him seemed to have been locked down. Lu Ming reached out and grabbed Xian Lin's throat. Everyone couldn't help but open their eyes wide. What was going on? They didn't see Lu Ming attack and there wasn't any powerful aura. How did Lu Ming grab Xian Lin's throat? It was as if Xian Lin was waiting there and didn't move at all for Lu Ming to grab. Everyone couldn't figure it out. With your strength, you want to challenge me? Lu Ming said softly, his voice full of disdain. Xian Lin struggled frantically, his eyes flashing with terror. Scram! Lu Ming swung his hand and Xian Lin's body was smashed into the ground. With a loud bang, a huge crater appeared on the ground. Xian Lin lay in the crater and vomited blood. Everyone else was dumbfounded. One move, no, Lu Ming didn't even make a move, and Xian Lin was defeated. He couldn't even withstand a single blow. Wasn't Lu Ming unable to become a great emperor? How could he have such powerful battle prowess? Could it be that Lu Ming had already become a great emperor? Thinking of this, many people's hearts beat wildly. Lu Ming already grasped many laws below martial emperor. He even grasped different strongest laws. This was heaven-defying. Even the celestial emperor asserted that Lu Ming would never be able to break through and become a celestial emperor in his lifetime. However, if Lu Ming could create a miracle and become a celestial emperor, how powerful would his battle prowess be? Lu Ming, I want you dead. Kill him. Below, Xian Lin screamed hysterically. He was the #1 genius in the divine fate land. He had never been defeated in a battle among his peers. He had never known the taste of failure. Just a moment ago, he had come in a domineering manner and said that he would defeat Lu Ming in 10 moves. However, now, he was easily defeated by Lu Ming. He couldn't even withstand a single blow. He couldn't accept such an outcome at all. He was furious and wanted to chop Lu Ming into pieces. A flower in a greenhouse can't withstand the wind and waves. Lu Ming shook his head, revealing a look of disdain. It seemed that Lu Ming's generation was the real golden generation. There were many geniuses and they competed with each other. Many of them had strong minds and had experienced many storms. However, there were fewer geniuses in this generation. Xian Lin's path had been too smooth. Although his talents were good, his mind was lacking compared to Tian Ming and the others. Once he met with failure and setbacks, he would immediately collapse. He couldn't bear it. Kill him for me, Xian Lin screamed. Lu Ming's words had pierced his heart. Lu Ming, kneel down and accept your death. The few people who came with Xian Lin dashed toward Lu Ming, emitting a terrifying aura. True emperors. 3 of them were true emperors. They were surrounded by godly light and looked like deities. Kneel down. The terrifying pressure of the true emperors pressed down on Lu Ming, wanting to force Lu Ming to his knees. Pressure my ass, all of you get lost. Lu Ming hollered and threw a punch out. The void exploded as the terrifying fist energy rushed towards the 3 true emperors. The 3 true emperors were almost scared to death when they felt Lu Ming's terrifying fist energy. That kind of power was simply not something they could contend against. They wanted to retreat but it was too late. Boom. The force of the fist crushed over, and the bodies of the 3 people exploded. Then, under the force of the fist, they turned into flying flames. The scene suddenly quieted down, not a single sound could be heard. Everyone's eyes were wide open in disbelief. 3 true emperors, that was 3 true emperors. How could Lu Ming turn them into ashes with one punch? How was that possible? How could Lu Ming's combat ability be so powerful? Dongfang Shuiyu stood there in a daze, her mouth slightly open as if she was in a dream. Xian Lin was also stunned. His eyes were filled with fear and disbelief. Let me send you on your way. Lu Ming looked at Xian Lin and stomped down. A giant foot formed by the power of the world stomped down on Xian Lin. Ah! Xian Lin screamed in fear. At this moment, a figure flashed as fast as lightning and swept Xian Lin away before Lu Ming's giant foot stomped down. A white-haired old man in a white robe appeared in the distance. He was holding Xian Lin, who was still in shock. Great Emperor. Lu Ming whispered. It's one of the Xian clan's doyen, a great emperor. The Xian clan's great emperor has appeared. I think he's going to deal with Lu Ming. Lu Ming is too impulsive. The Xian clan is one of the strongest forces in Aeon City. Let's see how Lu Ming deals with the great emperor. A few people spoke out, recognizing this elder. Xian Lin was overjoyed when he came back to his senses. Doyen, ha ha ha, you came at the right time. Kill Lu Ming for me. Kill that bastard. Xian Lin shouted. Today, Lu Ming had humiliated him. He must kill Lu Ming to vent his anger. The Xian clan's doyen emitted a powerful aura. That was the aura of a great emperor. Within a radius of 10,000 miles, it was filled with terrifying pressure. Those with weaker cultivation had to kneel down. Ordinary people were too weak when facing a great emperor. They couldn't contend with him at all. It seems like you want to die too. Out of everyone's expectations, Lu Ming's face was calm as he spoke indifferently. He was actually threatening a great emperor. Everyone was dumbfounded. They originally thought that Lu Ming would be afraid when facing a great emperor. They thought that he would be terrified and run away. They never expected that Lu Ming would actually threaten a great emperor. Lu Ming's eyes flashed with cold light as he looked at the doyen. The Xian clan's doyen's heart beat wildly as though he was being targeted by a terrifying beast. In the next moment, he would be torn apart and killed. This feeling shocked him greatly. What's going on? What a terrifying feeling. Could it be that Lu Ming's strength is far above mine? No, I must retreat today. Chapter 2394. Retreat. Xian family's grand elder shouted. Xian Lin and Dongfang Shuiyu, who was in a daze, retreated and disappeared in an instant. They retreated. All around, everyone was dumbfounded. They thought that Xian family's grand elder would make a move. They did not expect him to retreat. Why would Xian family's grand elder retreat? Was he afraid of Lu Ming and did not dare to make a move? That's impossible, right? No one could figure it out. Lu Ming did not pursue. His purpose of coming to Aeon City was not Xian family but Mu family. If Xian family did not want to die, he would not bother. Mu family should have gathered all their forces this time. I hope Hung family, He family and Deluo Heaven sect are also here. Don't let me come here in vain. Lu Ming looked in the direction of Mu family and chuckled. In the crowd, some people's eyes flickered and then left. These people were naturally people from Mu family. Next, Lu Ming and Qiu Yu strolled for a while and then returned to their residence. The news of Lu Ming's return, defeating Xian Lin in one move, killing 3 true emperors with one punch, and even scaring away a great emperor from Xian family spread quickly. Not only did it spread throughout Aeon City, but it also spread to every corner of Divine Fate Land. Countless people who heard the news were shocked. Lu Ming had broken through to Emperor Realm. Many people knew that Lu Ming had broken through to Martial Emperor Realm. The assertion of Heavenly Emperor was broken. Next, would Xian family make a move on Lu Ming? Many people guessed. As for Lu Ming's residence, it naturally attracted more people's attention. Many people were watching Lu Ming's residence at all times, concerned about the development of the situation. There were even many people who rushed over from other places. In Xian family's meeting hall, a group of people was discussing matters. These were the higher-ups of Xian family. Most of them were Great Emperor Realm experts. Kill, we must kill Lu Ming. Fellow Grand Elders, please do it. Xian Lin shouted. His eyes were blood red and filled with ferocious killing intent. During this period of time, the news of him being easily defeated by Lu Ming had spread like wildfire. His reputation had plummeted and was no longer what it used to be. He hated Lu Ming so much that he wanted nothing more than to grind Lu Ming's bones into dust. I think so too. We need to kill Lu Ming, another person spoke. Old Nine, tell me, why did you retreat before? At the very top was an extremely old man. At this moment, he was looking at the doyen who had saved Xian Lin. The Grand Elder from before was the 9th Grand Elder of the Xian family. Elder Nine frowned and pondered for a moment, before he said, I can sense a terrifying aura from Lu Ming's body. I have a feeling that if I were to make a move, I would most likely die in Lu Ming's hand. What? Everyone else was shocked, and Xian Lin widened his eyes in disbelief. How is that possible? Could it be that Lu Ming could threaten the Great Emperor? Even if he has broken through to the martial Emperor realm, it is impossible for him to break through to the Great Emperor realm so quickly. Impossible. Xian Lin found it hard to accept and shook his head repeatedly. Could it be that Lu Ming has really reached such a shocking level? The other Grand Elders whispered and their gazes were solemn. The higher one's cultivation, the more accurate their intuition would be. A great emperor's intuition would generally not be wrong. Lu Ming cannot be judged by common sense. Once he breaks through to the martial emperor realm, he will be like a dragon entering the sea. There will be no restrictions. It is not impossible for him to have the combat strength of a great emperor. I suggest that we do not take action against Lu Ming for the time being. Let's observe the situation first. The oldest Grand Elder said. I agree. I agree too. The other Grand Elders nodded. Although the remaining Grand Elders and Xian Lin wanted to take action, most of the Grand Elders did not agree and they had no choice. Time flew by and 5 days passed. At Lu Ming's residence. Brother Lu Ming, I have already found out that the Heng family, He family, and Deluo Heaven sect are all in the Mu family. Moreover, almost all the great emperors of the Mu family have returned to the Mu family headquarters. They seem to be on guard. Bubbles conveyed some information to Lu Ming. These days, Bubbles and Dandan went out to investigate the Mu family and finally found something. Lu Ming came to Aeon City. Needless to say, the 2 groups of assassins from the Death Nation had failed. Lu Ming's strength frightened the Mu family. It was natural for them to gather experts to deal with the Mu family. It's time. The Mu family, Heng family, He family, and Deluo Heaven sect will be destroyed today, Lu Ming said indifferently. Then he strode out and headed in the direction of the Mu family. Lu Ming's action naturally alarmed those who were paying attention to Lu Ming. Where is Lu Ming going? He is full of murderous intent. Is he going to kill his way to the Xian family? Impossible. No, this direction is not the Xian family. In the dark, many people were discussing and following behind Lu Ming secretly. Not long after, there were mountains and cranes in front of them. There were countless palaces. This was the Mu family. Boom. Lu Ming suddenly took a step forward. In the sky, endless power gathered and formed a giant foot. It covered the sky and the sun and stomped on the Mu family headquarters. The mountains trembled under the giant foot. Lu Ming was going to attack the Mu family. Everyone who followed him was dumbfounded. Their hearts were beating wildly. The Mu family's strength was stronger than the Xian family. What shocked them even more was Lu Ming's strength. This foot was like the foot of a deity. It was unbelievably powerful. Great Emperor. This was the strength of a great emperor. Everyone sucked in a breath of cold air. Lu Ming actually had the strength of a great emperor. No wonder the patriarch of the Xian family had retreated. Silhouettes flew out from the Mu family's palace. When they saw the huge foot, they were in a state of panic, and they flew everywhere. Impudent. A long roar came from the Mu family. A giant palm flew out from the Mu family and turned into a giant palm. It collided with Lu Ming's giant foot. Boom. The mountains trembled and the void collapsed. Terrifying energy swept out in all directions. The giant foot and the giant hand dissipated together. In the sky above the Mu family, a middle-aged man appeared. His aura was extremely terrifying. The Mu family's patriarch. In the distance, someone whispered and recognized this person. Heavens, the Mu family's patriarch is said to be a 3-star great emperor. He just blocked Lu Ming's attack. Lu Ming has become so strong. Quick, spread the news. Something big has happened. Lu Ming is going to attack the Mu family. Quick. Many people discussed in shock. The news was spread out one by one. Aeon City was in an uproar. Countless people rushed towards the Mu family. When the Xian family received the news, they were also stunned. They then sent experts to the Mu family to monitor the situation. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. After the Mu family's patriarch appeared, many figures rushed out from the depths of the Mu family. Each of these figures exuded a vast and boundless aura. The pressure of the great Tao filled the world. These were all great emperors. There were more than 20 of them. Chapter 2395. More than 20 great emperors from the Mu clan lined up in a row. Their auras were as vast as the sea, filling the entire Aeon City with a terrifying pressure. Such a lineup made the onlookers change their expressions and tremble with fear. However, Lu Ming looked indifferent as if he did not see so many great emperors. He glanced at the people of the Mu clan and frowned, saying, "Don't hide anymore. People of those clans, come out." The clans he mentioned were naturally the Hung clan, the He clan and the Deluo Heaven sect. However, the master of the Mu clan sneered and did not answer Lu Ming's question. Instead, he asked, "Lu Ming, today you attacked the Mu clan for no reason. Do you think we are easy to bully? If you don't give an explanation today, you don't have to leave. Don't you know why I'm here? You're really good at pretending. The Mu clan, the Hung clan, the He clan and the Deluo Heaven sect hired people from the Death Kingdom to kill me. Today's account should be settled properly." Lu Ming's voice spread all over the place. What? The Mu clan hired people from the Death Kingdom to kill Lu Ming? Is it true? It's very likely. Lu Ming killed the strongest genius of the Mu clan, Mu Yang. This is a deadly feud. How can the Mu clan let it go? Indeed, I'm afraid it's true. Otherwise, Lu Ming would not kill his way to the Mu clan. Lu Ming is really bold. He actually killed his way to the Mu clan. What do you think the result will be today? It's hard to say. If Lu Ming is not sure, he would not dare to come here. However, the Mu clan has been passed down for countless years and its foundation is unfathomable. The result is hard to say. Lu Ming's words caused an uproar and many people were talking about it. Nonsense. If the Mu clan wants to kill you, why would we hire people from the Death Kingdom? We can send anyone to kill you. The master of the Mu clan sneered. Any random person can kill me? Then I'd like to see if the Mu clan has this ability. Lu Ming sneered. Having said that, he stepped out and headed toward the Mu family. Bang! Bang! Every step Lu Ming took caused the void to vibrate continuously. Rays of light radiated from Lu Ming's body. That was the radiance of the laws. 1 type, 2 types, 3 types, all sorts of laws appeared one after another. When more than 10 types of laws appeared, the scene was dead silent. Everyone was tongue-tied, and their eyes almost popped out of their sockets. Oh my God, what did I see? The laws of primal chaos, the laws of death, the laws of life, and the laws of reincarnation. No, there's also the eternal law, the void law, the primordial law, and the space-time law. 8 of them. He has mastered 8 supreme laws. There are also 9 types of monarch Tao laws and 17 types of laws. He has mastered 17 types of laws. Moreover, he has cultivated all 17 types of laws to the limit and reached the 3rd realm. How is this possible? How is this possible? Freak, this is a freak. When they saw Lu Ming reveal all the laws, everyone in the surroundings shouted hysterically, unable to control their emotions. This could no longer be described as shock. Their emotions were 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times stronger than shock. The truth of cultivation was that a person could only master 1 type of supreme law. Moreover, Not everyone could master the supreme law. Those who could master one type of supreme law were the top geniuses in the world. But now, there was a person who not only mastered the supreme law, but also not 1, 2, or 3 types, but 8 types. This was not only breaking the truth, but also trampling the truth into pieces. One could imagine how everyone felt. The people of the Mu clan were tongue-tied, their eyes were wide open, and they were horrified. In the depths of the Mu clan, the experts of the Hung clan, He clan, and Deluo Heaven sect who were hiding in the dark were almost scared to death when they saw this scene. Lu Ming was shrouded in 17 types of light. He stood in the air like a god descending from the heavens. Come, let's see who can kill me. Lu Ming's eyes shot out 2 rays of divine light as he stared at the people of the Mu clan. So what if you have mastered 17 types of laws? You're still in the true emperor realm. Let me kill you. A tall and sturdy old man stepped out from the Mu clan like a lion. This old man's cultivation had reached the 3-star great sovereign realm. The Mu clan did not dare to underestimate Lu Ming. Although Lu Ming looked like a true emperor realm expert, he had mastered 17 types of laws. Most importantly, 8 of them were supreme laws. With the combination of so many laws, Lu Ming's combat strength could not be measured by common sense. It was possible for him to fight against a 1-star great sovereign or even a 2-star great sovereign. But they had sent out a 3-star great sovereign. The difference between a true emperor and a 3-star great sovereign was too great. They did not believe that Lu Ming could kill a 3-star great sovereign. Even if the 3-star great sovereign could not defeat him, he could at least keep his life and test out Lu Ming's true combat strength. Bang! Bang! The old man, who was like a lion, had a crazy aura. He stepped on the void and dashed toward Lu Ming at an increasingly fast speed. Slash! Suddenly, a saber appeared in the old man's hand and he slashed towards Lu Ming. The saber light was shocking and lit up the sky as if it was going to split the sky of Aeon City into 2. Kill! Lu Ming said indifferently. Before his voice died away, a long spear appeared in his hand. It was a long spear that was formed by the laws and the power of the world. Lu Ming's arm muscles bulged and he threw the long spear out. Swoosh! The long spear flew out like a ray of light, faster than lightning. This long spear not only contained the power of Lu Ming's power of the world, the power of the laws and the power of his physical body. The moment the long spear collided with the saberlight was shattered. The long spear did not slow down and continued to stab towards the old man. The 3-star great sovereign of the Mu clan did not expect that his all-out attack could not withstand a single blow from Lu Ming. He was stunned for a moment and his fate was sealed. Puff! Lu Ming's long spear directly pierced through his dantian and destroyed his small world. Together with his body, he flew out into the depths of the Mu family and crashed into a hall. Boom! The palace directly exploded, and a large group of figures flew out from inside. These people were from the Hung clan, He clan, and Deluo Heaven sect. The 3-star great sovereign of the Mu clan was pierced through by Lu Ming's long spear. He was nailed to the ground and screamed in agony. My cultivation base, my cultivation base. The shrill screams were heard all over the place. Hiss! The whole place was filled with gasps. A 3-star great sovereign was nailed to the ground by Lu Ming and his cultivation was destroyed. This scene was too shocking. A 3-star great sovereign could not withstand a single blow. How could this be? Had Lu Ming's combat strength reached such a terrifying level? Everyone felt like they were dreaming. In the crowd in the distance, there were people from the Xian clan who were watching. There were several founding elders, including Xian Lin and Dongfang Xueyu. At this moment, they were completely petrified and could not stop gasping. How could this be? How could this be? Xian Lin was like a fool and kept whispering, "You're tuning in to the Celestial War YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories,